What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger comic book review lightning round. We have 33 books that were released on...
And they were released on September 13th.
That's triple three.
Yes, 2017.
And we are a week late. As a matter of fact, we are recording this Friday, for those of you in the distant future. So we're recording this right after Dark Avenger Live. What's up, Tevia? We're doing it live, right after Dark Avenger Live. And we have a lot of books. So what we're doing is, these books have been discussed on Frontline Live. These books have been discussed on, I've discussed them on a few different avenues already. Zone 4, Frontline Live, you name it. So we're doing a lightning round. There's 33 books here. Our goal is to get this done within an hour. Hopefully. Maybe shorter. Right. We're doing basically, for those of you that watch Frontline Live, the way we do our top 5, where we kind of like boom, 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 when we're explaining our books, that's what our goal is to do here. It's a lot of books. These books have been out for a while, though. So if you are watching this, either number one, you're interested in hearing our thoughts on specific books, or number two, you're in the future, like I was saying, and you're curious about a certain book that's in this review anyway. And if you are, in the description below, I put a list of all the books we review in the order we're reviewing them in. So you don't have to sit here and watch the entire show. If, for example, you want Rose, you want Secret Empire Omega, you want Amazing Spider-Man, you want X-20, you want All New Wolverine, you want Action Comics, all of them are listed in the order we review them in. You can click to, I don't have timestamps. I can't do timestamps. 33 books, 33 timestamps. That's going to be ridiculously hard. So there's no timestamps. However, again, if you follow along, if you're fast forwarding and you're noticing books, you're catching up to where you need to be, or where you know you need to be. So without wasting any more time, 33 books, digitals, indie first, then we got indies, and then we've got digital big 2, and then we got big 2. Here we go. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, issue number 1, takes over right after issue number 0, where somebody is invading the island, or somebody is watching the island or the jungle where Sheena is. Somebody was killed in this jungle that only Sheena and her people are in, that no one else knows about, but apparently somebody else does because somebody's watching. So now Sheena has to figure out who that person is and get proof of it, or else her tribe and herself are going to be eliminated, so the jungle is completely empty of people, so other people can come in and explore it. And, you know, I forget what it was. It was an army or something, but basically Sheena has a deadline, and now she has to figure out who is invading her jungle where nobody is supposed to be to begin with. Youngblood, issue number 5. Huge shout out to this book. I still have a bit of it to read. I always like to put it in my reviews, even though it's a shout out only, because Youngblood is a really fun story. We get a little bit more about the twin brothers in this book. That's where I'm actually up to. Obviously, the president's not happy that Youngblood is back, and they want, and that the superhero initiative is kind of in play again. So now he actually is taking the fight to them to stop them before they actually become Youngblood again.
All right, so that's my turn.
I thought Youngblood was dead. No, Youngblood is still going on. Issue 5 just came out last week.
All right, so my books out for this week is Ninjak, issue number 0. This is a prologue one.
Sheena, that is not the same Sheena from Marvel, Tevia. Sheena, that is from Dynamite.
Yeah. So for Ninjak, issue number 0, there's a prologue to issue number 1. It basically tells you, you know, like backup stories about, it gives you like info about Ninjak, you know, what he's been through, fighting with Rocco and people he's encountered. It was a little bit boring in some places, but I'm guessing that the reason why they're doing that, like I said before, is to give us a little bit of insight about Ninjak, who he is, what he's been through, just so that when issue number 1 comes out, give us a little bit of a, you know, heads up of what to expect. But it was a little bit of an okay issue. I'm going to look into issue number 1, though, definitely. All right, we have Van Helsing versus the Werewolf, issue number 3, and it feels like a little bit of a long while since I've read this, actually. Like, you know, the last issue I meant, of issue number 2. And this really has a setting up point, and I don't like when they do this. Like, they set you up like saying that Van Helsing, she's fighting off with 2 other people, T-Shang and some other guy, against these people. And these people are half man, half werewolf. So as they're invading the town, it just leads us off where Van Helsing is going to fight the werewolf. To be continued. That's really the whole long and short of it, of all that. But it's a really great book. The artwork is gorgeous, though. I really love the artwork, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next issue of that. The Shadow issue number 2. We're still in that place of the hospital where the guy who is all burnt or something is trying to remember.
I didn't zoom in at all. I don't know why.
Oh,
no, you're fine. No, you're fine.
And he's just trying to figure out. He's like getting some memory therapist from the nurse and everything, and he's trying to remember. And all he could think about is just, seeing Shadow, the Shadow and everything, where there's these people who are going to rob a house, and there's a baby that's crying, where he sells the baby, and he calls the baby actually Worthy, as a name for that. And then he just fights off against them, the Shadow knows and all that other stuff. And he's actually been on the news where I think that we're playing fun of our president, but saying it in a different name.
Back to political shit.
Yeah, but it was like a one-page thing anyway.
Yeah, they do.
And it was just like the whole thing about finding out, does Shadow. Like, they're trying to find where this vigilante is and all this trouble that's going on. So I'm guessing the next issue is where, after the nurse saw the headlines of someone bringing to the man about Shadow names a millionaire's baby Worthy or something, something strikes about it when she sees that paper. And it's to be continued in the next issue. So I'm thinking the guy is the Shadow. I don't know because it's kind of, but I think that's who he is. I do not know, but I'm going to see the next issue to determine that.
3 physical books, IDW TMNT Universe, issue number 14, continuing the Karai story. I am really enjoying it. So their trial now is they've got, first of all, the grandfather that sent her on this journey, apparently he's looking, it's fresh. Because I read most of my books digitally this week because our books came late. So you can hear. It's like the ink. That's cool.
I find it funny. All right, but
now
I'm sorry. It just intrigued me. I'm sorry.
As the page turns.
I'm sorry. Just review it. Okay, you can stop that now.
Okay, so Karai is on this journey. First of all, the grandfather is looking to turn it. Obviously, he's only using Karai. He's going to turn on her, and the goal is to kill her. So the granddaughter doesn't like it. Goes to the master to warn him, and now the master takes her to help Karai, to warn Karai. They're in this vault, and there are trials. And this trial is they get instigated, but they can't hit. The souls that are instigating them are trying to get them to hit them. And as long as they don't touch anyone or hit or fight anyone, they're safe. Unfortunately, Koya's anger kind of breaks that. And then we get introduced to another character who is Ocho, who is a groundhog. I think. Hedgehog, groundhog? I don't even know what the hell it is. But he is protecting the sword that Karai is fighting for. She tricks him, gets her hands on the sword. We get a 2-page spread, or 3 pages of the Koya story again to be continued. Or concluded. I think both are to be concluded. Yes, the Karai story is about to conclude. Looking forward to seeing the ending. I think it's a really strong, solid dropping of the story. Definitely very good. I would definitely say check this out. This is an entertaining TMNT Universe story, if I do say so myself. Pass me that book. While you're doing that, I have to find the name of somebody.
All right, well, here you go. All right, so my book next is Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers, issue number 5. I did not review this for Comic Frontline yet because, once again, the books came a little bit late. But hopefully with this week's pile, I'll put it into a dual review. But anyway, this is a focal point about Chun-Li. Now, we all know that, Chun-Li is, let me show some good artwork without any blood or anything. Like, the artwork's really fantastic. Really love the artwork. And it's the Darkstalkers and Street Fighters fighting off against a god who was sent by the demons to go against them and everything. So, Chun-Li is the voice of Gen. Now, Gen wants to, train everything. Meanwhile, the other heroes are finding Akuma, which they found, because Akuma has some answers that he wants to give to them, or for whatnot. So, Chun-Li is with Gen, saying, even though my friends need help, just please teach me what you want to teach me of what I'm missing. So as there's just two sides where Kuma is hearing Cheetah, the Maijin or something like that. So basically, he's going to team up with the people to help fight off against this demon. And as everyone else is fighting, well, Chun-Li is back to her normal self. And I was like saying, yes, thank you, God. I love this Chun-Li. This is the Chun-Li that we all admired from Street Fighter series. And the next one's like a little where I don't know what their names are. Because they really, I don't know what their names are. Like, they're just talking about honor and stuff like that, where they wind up fighting each other, and it just winds up that they both went into the water. I just don't know what their names are. I mean, like I said, maybe I forgot, but they weren't familiar or anything. But the second story is that the first story, just with Chun-Li, seeing Chun-Li back again, that's what's really awesome.
Rose, issue number 6. I keep forgetting I can't
Glare.
I'm loving this series. So Sir Dante basically swears his allegiance to Rose after Rose saves him. At first, you think that he's going to try to kill her because he, first of all, he claims he thinks she's a witch. He doesn't like her. He doesn't trust her. He talks about, I could get back in favor with the queen. You got the queen at the beginning of the book killing a bunch of people, or a village that was where the Runaways or the rogue bandits were. But in the end, he swears his allegiance to Rose, swears that he's going to protect her. Thorn is kind of hesitant. And then you see the leader of the resistance or the rogues setting up a plan, as well as the leader of the rogues. And now it looks like Rose is going to have to either save this woman or a lot's going to happen. But the children from the village who were prisoners of the queen were saved by the rogues, but now they have to survive. Now we got to see what happens next to the leader. My prediction is she's going to end up either passing or Rose is going to save her, and I'm looking forward to that. It's a great issue, really great build-up, and I'm happy that Sir Dante's kind of on a redemption kind of deal path now. Hopefully soon. I think I got 2 more months before it comes through DCBS. I will be getting this through Midtown, but I don't have the physical copy yet. New Superman issue number 15. Kenan versus the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad was sent to kill Kenan and kill, Emperor Superman. So Emperor Superman's dead. Now we got Kenan. Kenan gets taken down pretty bad, and the mom and dad are back. They're awake. So they end up taking him and trying to take care of him while the Justice League of China, what's up, Shamar, is fighting the Suicide Squad. However, I forgot what the guy's name was that he's basically yin and yang, by the way. And the yin side loses to yang, and now the dark side brings back Emperor Superman as Doomsday. Kenan comes back. He's healed. And the end of the book had the best homage to what is it called? Superman issue number 75, which is the death of Superman ever. The last couple of panels literally taken directly from the death of Superman, from the very beginning, from the end of the fight with Doomsday all the way to the final panels.
What's up, Sean?
Amazing freaking work with New Superman. I'm really glad I'm getting this book physically again. The artwork was amazing. The story was amazing. And now what's next for Kenan? Is he dead? Did he die after fighting Emperor Superman Doomsday? Or is he in like a limbo? And he meets this guy at the end where they're in the past, China in the past. I'm very, very interested to see where New Superman's going. Mr. Miracle issue number 2. I'm really excited to get this in trade. I enjoyed the second issue a lot. Mr. Miracle and Big Barda are now serving the new High Father, which is Orion. And their mission, after a nice intro, is to go kill Granny Goodness. And they go... It's supposed to be a peace talk, but they're there to assassinate her. And I like how Mr. Miracle kind of is questioning Orion. He doesn't really like Orion. He doesn't bow to him. He doesn't call him High Father either. He still calls him Orion. And we find out that before Granny Goodness dies, we find out that she was a secret agent for Allfather, the original High Father, not Allfather, High Father. Now I did what Jay did. And she warned Scott that Orion called her before they arrived and warned her that Barda and Scott might attempt to take her life. And if they do so, that she has the right to kill them or do what she sees fit with them. And that's going to lead to a lot of questions. Now, Big Barda, of course, doesn't believe it, and Granny Goodness ends up. I think this is an offshoot. This is not really happening, or it is happening, and then after Rebirth, it's all going to get undone because you know Granny Goodness is not going to remain dead. You know Orion's not truly, well, Orion always kind of was on the fence as far as a character, so I don't know, but you know that Highfather is going to come back. You know Orion, and if you're reading Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, which I will get into as we go through DC's physicals, Highfather's still around. So if this is within the universe of the DC Rebirth, yeah, there definitely is no way Highfather's going to stay dead. Weapon X, and this is issue number 8. So Wolverine, or Old Man Logan, realizes that Weapon H has a brain. He's able to think because he takes out the entire Weapon X team easily, but does not hurt Domino because he knows Domino doesn't have a healing factor, which is interesting. And we get a little bit more of the soldier, his background a little bit. You see the doctor who's really happy that Weapon H is doing, like he could basically take down anyone because he's got the claws and the Hulk out, and he can Hulk out. And now she's on the hunt to get him back so she can get him under her control. Reverend Stryker's not too happy about it, and Logan still wants to talk to this Hulk to try to talk him down, maybe fix, try to help him. And then they realize that they're outgunned. They need somebody else for the team, and Logan thinks of somebody. And in the end, that's Laura, X-23, all-new Wolverine. It's going to be really interesting to see where that book goes next. Venomverse issue number 2. The now possessed Venom Spider-Man versus our Eddie Brock Venom. And we find out Captain America gets taken, and he actually does get possessed. And now you've got a really good fight between Brock and Pete in this one. But again, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with Venomverse still. It's basically a glorified Spider-Verse, and I don't really see a need to have it physically, so I think my digital copies will suffice when it comes to Venomverse. Still haven't read War Story, still could care less. But you see the numbers of the Venoms dwindling, and we find out who's leading the anti-Venom squad, so to speak, and it's Doctor Doom, spoiler alert. So it's going to be real interesting to see what transpires, but at the same time, I'm still trying to invest myself in Metal a little bit more, and I'll get into Metal when we get to it, but Metal's not making it easy either.
All right, one book for me is Deadpool, issue number 36. In this issue, you really feel bad for Deadpool, and I'm going to tell you why. Throughout this whole story, see, there are a lot of things that have happened to Deadpool. He was a little bit distant from his daughter. His Mercs for Money group didn't work out so well. And things that he is looking at are turning out really bad for him. And he's in that dark place where, you just feel bad for him with everything that's going on. And that's what really the whole book is, just really feeling bad for Deadpool between, like I said, his daughter is now with another person that's not, him, and the guy wants the daughter to be away from Deadpool. You have he does kill one of the Hail Hydra people. I just forgot who. And for him, just that the way he was being an anti-hero, you really just feel bad for his character. I think they're trying to turn him around to be a good guy. I do not know.
Well, the Despicable Deadpool's taking
That's
over.
what I was saying. The Despicable Deadpool is going to be the next one. So I will take a look at it and see how that goes. But it was a really sad emotional roller coaster, especially for Deadpool.
Hulk issue number 10. Now, I know a lot of the people over on Comic Frontline are digging this series. I'm starting to lose interest in it really quickly. Now, again, this is, a character I've never truly and honestly been interested in. I was just interested to see where Jen was going to go after Bruce's death. But anyway, whatever that guy's name was ends up fighting Jen in this book. The art was a bit dark in this book. I don't know how I feel about the art. Jen still has the scars and whatnot. I'm just really not digging it. She tries to fight that guy, Oliver, that's it. And Oliver ends up kind of losing it. She takes him out, and he's getting help now. He's in a hospital to be healed, but unfortunately, he'll never be the same. Jen kind of loses it, though. she kind of gets pushed a bit far, and she starts losing her inhibitions. Like she starts to really truly Hulk out, like to the point where she was ready to kill Mutant Oliver, but she snaps out of it thanks to Hellcat. Unfortunately, Oliver can't be cured. His boyfriend's now in therapy, and somebody is spying on Jen. And that's going to be interesting to see where things go from here. But I think starting with the next issue, I believe it is the next issue, I'm going to be moving this to a digital pile. Just because physically I'm interested in Hulk, but like I tell you guys all the time, there's a hierarchy. There's three ways I can think of a comic. I'm interested in it, and I get the physical copy. Second way, I'm sort of interested in it, want to still read it, so I read it digitally, Comixology, what have you. And then the third way is I'm not interested at all, and I end up dropping it. Hulk, which is going to become She-Hulk soon, I am interested in, but not overly excited about. I need physical copies or a trade paperback up. It's kind of one of those books that I'll read, I'll enjoy it, but not something I probably will get physically again for a bit. Runaways, issue number 1. The return of... Why did her name completely and utterly leave my mind? The return of Gertrude. Chase ends up showing up in Nico's apartment with the dead Gertrude from previous arc. And it's present-day Chase who brought the past... what do you call it? Why did her name leave me again? That Gertrude back. Why is Gertrude such a hard name? So the book kind of tells us a bit. If you don't know the Runaways at all, you get a rundown of Nico. You get a rundown of Chase. You find out that Gertrude died. They show a little bit of a flashback where it shows the past and the present. Gertrude ends up getting saved. Nico brings in a doctor. She tries to do things herself. We find out that she's really running low on spells and abilities to use spells because she's used almost practically everything. I love how Chase kind of questions how her arm is back, like the readers are. And now Gertrude's alive again, but where do we go from here? And apparently somebody is spying in on Chase, and that's going to be very, very interesting. But I don't know. We got to see where it goes. Right now, I wouldn't say it's my favorite comic, and I wouldn't say it's my least favorite comic. It feels like they're setting it up. I think, like Jay said, every issue is going to be a character spotlight. We got Chase and Nico. Now we'll get maybe Molly and somebody else, or we'll get little spotlights, and then we'll get them coming together. Now, Defenders issue number 4. Last time I reviewed it, I was happy because I said, "Wow, Bendis wrapped up a story arc in 4 issues." I was awesome, great. Now we can move on to the next story arc. Issue number 5. Diamondback escapes. Iron Fist buys a building for the Midnight Nurse, Linda Carter. She's more than grateful about it. And like I said, then Diamondback escapes after a lot of shit talk towards the Punisher. If I was the Punisher, if I ever saw Diamondback again, I would put a bullet not only between his eyes, but in a few other places. I hate this character. If Bendis was writing us to hate this character, I hate him more than I think I've hated any character in a comic book. So Diamondback escapes. The Defenders are looking for Diamondback now. I like how Luke and Jessica go one place looking for help, and the woman's like, "I'm not helping you. You're done. Get out." You've got Daredevil and Iron Fist at the old Heroes for Hire place, and apparently Elektra's been around. And then you got Black Cat who gets confronted. Black Cat gets confronted by Diamondback, and of course more shit talk. And
oh, no.
I don't know, but something might be happening to Black Cat by the next issue. I was so happy Bendis ended this run with Diamondback because I could care less. And now we're getting, guess what? Arc number 2 because he escaped. So we're going again with Diamondback. I hate this character. I wish they would figure out what to do. I don't even think Bendis knows what he wanted to do with him. At first he's like, "We'll put him in jail." And they're like, "No, he's got super." How did he get his powers? That's the question nobody answered. And I think that's what this part of the story is going to be about. How Diamondback got his powers and how they're going to take the powers away from him so they can put him away in jail. We pray. But I don't know, man. I'm not really liking it. If this is what Defenders, the whole story arc is going to be about and only about, this is going to fall flat fast. You got to finish this arc, Bendis. You got to finish off Diamondback and get the Defenders back to Heroes for Hire or something. I'm tired of Diamondback already, and it's only been 5 issues. And the smack talk in this issue was real, man. It was real. I want to reach into the comic and bitch slap Diamondback. So that tells you something. And that's the end of my rant. Scarlet Spider, issue number 7. Finally, a reason for me to continue getting this book physically has reared its head. Death gives Ben Reilly a tour of, he's special because he continues to die and come back. And that's why Death has taken an interest in him. But she takes him on this journey and shows him all of these souls and whatnot that die and they continue to go. And then she shows him his soul. Because he's died and come back so much, one more death in return, he will come back completely and utterly insane. Completely pure evil. But if he stays alive and goes on a redemption path, he can go back to the way he was before. Now, Kane is dead. The little girl is dead. We find out that it is Ben's fault. He didn't test the drug, and the drug killed the girl. So the woman gives him a choice. Either bring Kane back or bring the girl back. Only one can come back. So who stays dead, she says. Who will be the one person to stay dead? He's like, me. And she's like, you can't do that. He's like, yes, I'm sacrificing myself to have 2 choices instead of one. Bring both of them back and take me. I don't want to come back anymore. And this is the beginning of his redemption path because he ends up fighting Death. Death laughs, thinks it's hilarious, and gives him a gift. Both Kane and the little girl live. And Kane, and I double-checked with Jay first, Kane actually lost his scars too. So Kane isn't dying anymore. He's fully healed as well. And guess what? Ben no longer has the scars. So basically, this story arc, this whole first arc was kind of erasing the Jackal part of Ben's life, or finishing that chapter of his life off. And now Ben has a second chance. As long as he stays on the righteous path, he will become this world's greatest hero again, one of the greater heroes of this world again. If he goes off of it, he'll become the greatest villain. And if he dies again and comes back, it's over. Ben is done. He's insane, he's evil, and that's that. So Ben can't die, and Ben has to be on the road to being redeemed because his mind and his soul are broken because of all of this. I love it. Finally, a reason to continue reading Spectacular where I don't feel like Scarlet Spider where I'm not reading Deadpool. X-Men Blue, issue number 11. I enjoyed this issue. So the Goblin Queen and her Hexmen. We get all of their backgrounds in this book. Scott and Jean barely escape with the skin of their teeth. They go for help. Jimmy and Angel are looking for where he came from. We get a little message from Miss Sinister. We get to see the Blob, who might still be alive. And unfortunately, the return to the Ninja people, where Jean and Scott ask them to help fight against the Goblin Queen and save her friends. And we find out that one of followers of the Goblin Queen, Storm, who feels bad for Beast. We all know Storm and Beast have a thing for each other. That demon Storm is going to find a way to save Henry or Beast from the Goblin Queen and fix things. That's what the cover's all about. The cover kind of spoils it a bit, but we'll see what the next issue, how Demon Storm saves everyone. Whew, boy, I have 33 books. Most of them were mine physically. All New Wolverine, issue number 24. Laura ends up, we all know what happens to Gabby. She ends up being possessed. Laura and the others have to make a hasty retreat. But then Gabby starts to break free thanks to her healing factor. Laura, against what everyone is saying, goes back for Gabby. Gabby ends up surviving. And we find out that the whole problem, the infection, and the brood that were released on that planet are all because of the lead scientist. He was doing tests, and one of the brood got away, and he's the reason for all the deaths and whatnot. And I love how, the planet's destroyed, his science planet's destroyed, where he's made no achievements. And then also, I love what Rocket does to him at the end of the book. Let's just say that scientist got exactly what he deserved. I'll be happy to see Laura back on Earth, where she belongs, and back to doing Wolverine things. Also, Rocket fitted the Wolverine pet, Gabby's pet, with a translator device, so now they can understand the Wolverine, which I think is really cool. Dear Lord, this is going to go on for days. I'm the one doing the lightning round. Old Man Logan, issue number 28. Logan teaming up with young Hawkeye. Because Hawkeye said, you came to me a long time ago. We get a bit of backstory. Turns out that the girl that is, not keen on Maestro anymore, she had a run-in with Old Man Logan back in the Wastelands, and he kind of let her take this pay because she didn't want to go back to Banner. She wanted to live on her own. So she remembers Logan, and that's why she goes to him and lets him know what Maestro is doing. Maestro ends up knowing that Wolverine's on his way and pushes his plan forward even further. Hawkeye and Wolverine have a nice moment. I like that. I like that, he's like, I wasn't there for you before. I want to try to be there for you now. The woman explains to Wolverine what Maestro is planning, and the plan goes into effect as this issue concludes. So now it's going to be up to Wolverine, Hawkeye, and this other Hulk to stop Maestro and his plans. Obviously they will, but it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I enjoyed this issue a lot. I really do enjoy Old Man Logan. Twist of fate here. Amazing Spider-Man issue 32, which is not even Amazing Spider-Man. It is 100% Norman Osborn looking for, I'm sorry, I hate these inserts, and I always forget to check my books before I do these. Norman Osborn looking for a way to get power in order to take down Spider-Man. He goes to these monks where he wants to look for, he's on a journey. He wants to know who he is on the inside. They put him in this test. He passes, and they train him. They make him super strong, and then instead of choosing the tiger, which is his true animal and true future, his righteous path, he chooses the goblin and to use his powers specifically and only to destroy Spider-Man and take down and basically use his powers to be corrupt, basically. And basically that whole thing, that was the test. And he fails. And now he's like, yeah, I may have failed, but now I know the truth. I know what's inside of me, and it's the goblin. Again, I'm not really too keen on the Amazing Spider-Man run. I am dropping it. I don't know if Venom. Oh, right. If Venom Inc. Looks interesting enough, I might physically pick it up again. I don't know. I really don't think so. I'm really not digging the whole Amazing Spider-Man run right now. I think, if anything, I'm intrigued to keep it. Again, I'm intrigued, so I'll keep it digitally through Comixology, but I'm not super. I need to own these books physically in my collection. Generations, Captain Marvel ×2. Interesting story, very sappy ending, but at the same time, I liked it. You have Carol and Captain Marvel teaming up against Annihilus, and I just really enjoyed it a lot. I like the artwork in the book. I like how in the end Carol tries to open up to Marvel, but it's too late. She kind of is being sent back to the present, but she does learn the lesson of not being hot-headed. I guess that's the main lesson for Carol here, is to be less hot-headed and to really start thinking more before she acts. And it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked the action. I liked the fight with Annihilus. I enjoyed it in general. Now, will I be picking up Captain Marvel 125? Unless it's a, I think I probably will, because it probably will be a lenticular cover. So I think I'm picking up everything that's getting legacy numbered or legacy in general for the lenticular cover. So we'll see where Captain Marvel goes, but probably won't keep it. Okay, this is the variant. This is a oh, I'm sorry. This is the direct edition for Secret Empire. No, it is a variant. Why does it say direct edition?
It's a variant.
Yes, it's a variant. I think this is the DCBS variant for Secret Empire Omega.
Oh, Frost is here.
Oh my God, it's Undisputed Frost, everybody. What's going on, Frost? It's great to have you on in the comments, man. It's been a long time no see when it comes to live shows. Great to have you on here. So Secret Empire Omega. The big conversation between good Cap and evil Cap. We find out that Black Widow is probably still alive because Bucky realizes that. Also, we get hints that evil Cap might be escaping soon because the people who are keeping him captive are one of them is a Hydra agent. You see that the mutants are losing New Titan and they're going back to everyday life. I like the Punisher is really pissed off that he was tricked by Captain America, and now it's leading to what up? Just know that the Chop is coming again, everybody.
Well, he looks like
you better be subscribed to Undisputed Frost because I love the Chop. Yeah, so basically now he wants revenge against the evil Cap and Hydra for tricking him And it looks like Nick Fury Jr. is watching on, and he's really happy. And he thinks that he's almost ready. But what? I guess Michael will find out because he will be, it'll be happening in Punisher.
Okay.
And that's really the long and short of it. Next is the Marvel Legacy one-shot. Oh, Secret Empire, thank you for bringing us full circle, erasing Hydra Cap, and now trying to bring us into Legacy. Moving into DC Comics, Detective Comics 964, or we should just call it Stephanie Needs a Man, because that's what it is. We have Stephanie, who is really trying to believe in anarchy. You have Clayface, who kind of loses it. We finally find out that he can only be Clayface for about 12 hours before he starts to degenerate back into the Clayface we all know and never want to see again. I like this Road to Redemption for Clayface. Out of all the characters or all the supervillains, I like that we might at some point see a in control good Clayface, and you see that also. What's her name is trying to help him out as well. So Batman fights Anarchy. We find out that Anarchy was the reason for the what group was it called? The what was it? The First Victim. He helped them build the suits and take the war to Batman and cause all the problems that happened in Gotham. And of course, Stephanie gets pissed off because she was lied to. She and Batman take Anarchy down. Batman says, I'm leaving this place the way it is. I'm not touching it, but you're not leading them. And he tries to reach out for Spoiler because he's like, Tim's alive, but she ends up leaving too quick. I think she leaves too quickly. I'm not sure. But now apparently somebody's made a copy of Steph's phone, and now, unfortunately, the First Victim or the victims now have the evidence they need to take Batman down once and for all. So I think after the Tim story arc, we're going to be seeing them deal with the First Victims again. But now, what's next? What's going to happen next with Tim Drake? This arc is what I am super excited about. The return of Tim Drake. Because right now, Oz is busy with Superman. So now the next issue of Detective, the return of Tim Drake. The way he brings himself back. And I'm sure this is going to lead into a crossover with Batman and Superman at some point between Detective and Action. Supergirl 13, I'm really quickly losing my interest in this. Supergirl, long story short, beats the Emerald Empress. The world no longer trusts her. They want to trust in this new woman who actually ends up getting taken down as well. I forgot her name. She's apparently, I forgot who she was, but she's important. The district finds out about what they were doing and takes the leader out from the lead. We find out that Cyborg Superman is back up and running, and he ends up taking down the other character. He goes and gets put back into custody. Now Supergirl is going to try to make face again. We find out another person, Director Bones, is in the present, and Emerald Empress was just the start. Now he's going to be finding out a way to take down Supergirl on his own. And as an epilogue, those of you reading Action, Oz finds Zor-El and basically erases him. So Zor-El, Cyborg Superman, is no more. So for those of you fans of Zor-El as Cyborg Superman, he's gone. There's just Hank Hansaw, the Cyborg Superman now. So that's one way to erase the New 52 Cyborg Superman. And yeah, I can't wait to find out when Kara finds out that her father was destroyed by Oz. That's going to be really, really interesting. Next arc, we'll see. It's going to determine whether I continue Supergirl physically or drop it. Honestly, this was a weak story arc. Emerald Empress gets taken out. We still have people from the future. We see mention of Saturn Girl. This is what I'm waiting for, is the Legion of Superheroes to make their appearance in Supergirl, because then I'll probably have no reason to continue reading Supergirl, because by that point, I think Rebirth will be in the end swing, the swing back. So Superwoman 14, I was kind of disappointed with. It turns out Lana gains control right at the get-go. Lex is gone. And now they're going to try to cure her friend from all the red kryptonite poisoning. They kind of can't because he's been exposed a lot. We find out that New 52 Maxima was somehow contained by old DCU Maxima, who in this book is evil. And now she wants to take down Supergirl. So she shows up. I love how Supergirl's the main target in both books. And it's up to Lana and Kara to stop evil Maxima. But good Maxima shows up and takes out evil Maxima. Surprise, surprise. Evil Maxima gets put in jail. Good Maxima, Supergirl, and Superwoman are, now besties. And apparently, just like in, I forgot what other book, in All New Wolverine, somebody's watching Lana. And I like one thing I do like is Lana's friend tells her, the power that you have is not because of me or red kryptonite. It was always within you. Really cool stuff, but at the same time, lackluster. I have a feeling at some point, I think Superwoman is rumored to be ending soon, possibly. But if not, both Superwoman and Supergirl, I'm on the fence with both, physically, at least.
All right. Justice League of America.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Issue number 14, Panic in the Microverse, where Ryan Chow has to go into the Microverse to find the heart of Moza, as well as trying to find the Professor, Ray Palmer. While the rest of the Justice League are out fighting against the army that's attacking them. So here's some the artwork in this issue, which is really nice. And he's just asking Mozga, to stop with these quadrium storms, heal the damage to the Microverse, and just please help. And, with all convincing and everything, the heart of Mozga is actually going to help him. And we also see that Killer Frost has the side where she got angry to the point where she actually killed someone, and she's not really that happy about that, because Killer Frost vowed not to kill anyone else. So, there's kind of a little bit of a character scene with Killer Frost and everything. And at the end of the issue, after all that was said and done, Ryan actually finds Ray Palmer, but he actually said to not that, what are you doing with Art? You weren't supposed to bring him here, and you doomed us all. So not like saying, hey, you found me and everything. It's just like saying, oh no, you did this, why'd you do that? So found the professor, but I don't know what they're going to do about that Art guy that came into it. This is a Dark Knight's Metal tie-in, and I'm talking about Teen Titans issue number 4, Gotham Resistance Part 1. Story arc begins. And in this issue, it's just Damian, who is trying to find out where his father is, and does have a tie-in to Metal of issues 1 and 2. They said somewhere in the beginning.
Probably, yeah, it has to take place after issue 2.
Yeah, it says, before going any further, read Dark Knight's Metal issues 1 and 2.
Yeah, because issue 2 introduces this character.
Right. So Damian is trying to look for Batman because of disappearance that happened. Meanwhile, the Teen Titans are in the city trying to fight off against these people. So Damian goes. Oh, I want to show some nice artwork. Yeah, he goes into the Riddler's house, and guess what? He encounters with Green Arrow, and I was like, "Whoa, Green Arrow's in this issue!" And this is the Green Arrow that I've been reading actually. So they team up together, but not only that, they also meet up with Harley Quinn and Killer Croc, and then they wind up teaming up with each other. It was like a whole quad team that's going on here, and it's just Damian is just like saying, where's my father and what have you done to him? So there's like this card right here, which actually did happen in Green Arrow number 29, because I do remember that card. And yeah, just like the whole thing of thinking that his father was there, Nightwing actually comes in, being chased by something, and that's going to be continued in Nightwing issue number 29.
Looking forward to that.
Basically, Mr. Freeze is unleashed.
Yeah, I saw pictures of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, so awesome. That you're going to be looking forward to reading. But a really great story. I mean, Damian just really wants to find his father and just find out, what the hell's going on. The quad team was actually awesome. I will admit that.
Titans issue 15, speaking of Nightwing, he comes clean with the whole group and tells them he's the spy. They get pissed off at him, but he says, wait, I can explain. He did it because he wanted to help Bumblebee. We find out Bumblebee's husband and Gunnar are trying to also do that without knowing that, Nightwing's doing the same. But then the Hive gets attacked, and they send out a distress call for the Titans to help them. And what happens is they also, whoever is attacking the Hive, end up taking, I forgot who he was, the Lope or whatever, and possessing him as well. And whoever this person is, he possesses Gnark, he possesses Bumblebee's boyfriend, and the whole goal is to get back Lilith, to get Lilith under their control. And something happens to Nightwing, I don't want to spoil that, but Wally ends up pushing himself so far to the limit that his heart actually ends up stopping, and he has a heart, and his heart just dies. So he ends up writing a letter. Actually, he wrote a letter to Nightwing, and we get to read the letter throughout the issue. And it's basically him saying, I'm quitting. He was actually quitting the Titans, but unfortunately, before he could quit, his body ends up quitting on him. I really hope, the one thing I don't like with Rebirth right now is that Wally has a pacemaker.
Oh.
They got to undo that. They have to undo that super quick. I don't like it. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. The long short of this one is Hal has a heart-to-heart talk with his father, ? We don't know. But as he's trying to chase down Allfather, he ends up having a conversation with his dad. Is his dad a construct from the universe he's in? Is it part of his, is he having like, is it part of him just having like, not a breakdown, but is he imagining it? We don't know, but he has a wonderful combo with the dad. I love this part of the, I love this issue completely. But Hal ends up pushing himself to the limits like his father encourages him to. And he ends up catching up to Allfather and saving him while Light Ray now can rest. As I believe Hal has a new plan. He does, and I believe we'll find out what that new plan is in the next issue. But I love how he tells Allfather, oh, Orion's dead, but not really. And he's like, and you held this from me? And he's like, well, you just got in my plane, dude. Give me a chance to explain what's going on. But Hal has a plan, and that's what I'm excited about. Wally's not gone, Tevye. Don't worry.
Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue number 14. The new story arc called Bizarro Reborn, Part 1. Because you saw in the last issue, Bizarro went from being a duh to actually being a smart one. Like, you know, like smart as in a regular person. So, as Red Hood and Artemis are fighting in the city of, you know, what's going on there, we find out that, whatchamacallit, where Bizarro is. And he kind of looks really like Superman, like his S isn't backwards.
And he has the blue boots instead of the red.
Right. So it's just that his face is pale. That's really all that there is. So, you know, and as they're fighting in the crime alley, they just go back to, you know, Bizarro, where he's talking about the things that he found of, like, you know, where they can go to and everything. So I like that he uses all that technology, and he shows them also the other technologies that have been worked on, even the table right here, the war room. I really like the artwork in this issue, I will say that much. And they also found a doorway to actually the Fortress of Solitude, and they're like saying, do you know how much trouble we'd be in if Superman found us here? And he's like saying, I'm practically his younger brother, so, you know, nothing bad could happen there. But, yeah, and then we also get, what's his name? Can't remember his name. That they found, I can't remember, like, somewhere in Arkham Asylum. And this is what really got me. In the end, he's, like, talking to himself, is all like saying, you know, this is not forever, right? He's, like, saying, yes, I know. So, oh, my. I gotta just say, I really admire the smart Bizarro. I mean, yes. I mean, of course, eventually we're going to see. I don't know. Could grow used to it. Just saying.
All right, 2 more books, and then we're done, everybody. Let's start with Dark Knight's Metal, issue number 2. I love these. I love these silver covers, these metallic covers.
Glare.
But Batman's on the run from the Justice League. The Justice League is trying to find him to stop him. We learn that Batman has been introduced to every single metal on Earth to become this doorway except one. And that's why he's on the run. I love how he tricked Clayface He tricked Superman so deep with Clayface that even Superman's like, he got Clayface down to a heartbeat. He tricked even me. And apparently there's another group of people who are looking to prevent Batman from opening the doorway as well, and Kendra's part of that group, and so is Ra's al Ghul. Things go down bad. We get to see Darkseid's baby. Batman wants to go back in time and kill himself, watch himself die, but then he ends up getting tricked by the Court of Owls. They end up introducing the last metal into Batman's blood, and now Batman becomes the doorway, and that introduces all the characters for all the one-shots we're going to be getting for the next 2 months. And also, what's his name? Barbados ends up somehow defeating Superman and Wonder Woman with a lightning strike. To be continued. I believe we're not getting... I wish there was a checklist. I could have sworn they would have had it in this book.
Isn't it in Teen Titans?
No. The checklist for metal itself.
Yeah,
there was one. Oh, jeez. It's not in this, though. No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
No, it's just moving a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, there's no checklist in this, but I believe there's a whole month before we get Metal 3. I think it's only coming out once a month for the next couple of months until we get all the one-shots for Metal done. It was okay. I mean, I can't complain, but at the same time, now the shock factor for all of you, it's over because, this book came out 2 weeks ago. Action Comics, number 987. I got the lenticular, of course.
Wait, did you show it?
It's Superman, and then we go this way, and it's Oz. So anyway, Oz sets his plan into motion. The world starts to go to hell, and apparently Oz has a connection to it. Ignore any stupidness that's connected to this book about Superman protecting a bunch of illegal aliens from being killed by an American guy who claims they stole their jobs. I don't know why, but of course you have to have people who are political have to literally look through books with X-ray vision, no pun intended, to find something wrong and complain about it. But anyway, all this stuff ends up going down on Earth. And finally, Oz confronts Superman saying they don't deserve you. This place was horrible, and I never should have sent you here. And when Superman says, what do you mean you never should have sent me here? You're not human. You called the people, you called them human, so you're not. He's like, no, I'm your father. I'm Jor-El.
Oh.
So the big reveal with Action Comics was Jor-El is Oz. So now what?
He's not Oz. Are you serious?
Jor-El is Oz. Mike, we talked about this on Frontline Live.
I forget.
So Jor-El is Oz, and now he basically says he sent Clark to the wrong place. This planet doesn't deserve you. You should, and I think now his whole goal is to get Superman to leave before the catastrophic events of Doomsday Clock, which we all know won't happen. It's going to be an interesting fight between him and Oz, but also it's going to be interesting to see what happens as we continue forward more. If this is really Jor-El, if it isn't, I'm hoping it's truly not. Because hearing Jor-El say, I never should have sent you to Earth, that sounds wrong. Because we know Jor-El was on Earth before, that he's examined, that he studied Earth, and he knew that Clark would be the shining light to fix the planet Earth, and he is in the future. So this is kind of like weird and out of left field. So I really this is my book of the week, Action Comics. I loved it. Even though it was predictable, I'm really excited to see where we go in the next, I think it's 3 issues of Action Comics. I'm really excited for the next 2 months in action. And with that, 33 books down, comic review done. I believe it took us an hour and a half.
And that's episode 410.
That's 410. That's right. We are now 90 away, 90 weeks, from 500. So stay tuned. Hopefully we will be on time next week in a couple of days on Monday for 11. I'm praying we are because we've been getting our books late, and it's nobody's fault. I'm not pointing a finger at DCBS. I'm not pointing a finger at FedEx. I'm pointing a finger at Mother Nature. Mother Nature has been attacking us left and right. There's been some catastrophic events, and honestly, the mail itself is super late because of this. So I can't blame anyone. It's no one's fault. I'm not upset about it because our books, if they arrive tomorrow, because usually our books came on Friday, Saturday, they arrive tomorrow, they're on time. So it's obviously due to the events of recent. So hopefully we'll catch up. It depends. If we have a super ton of books like this, we might just finish by Tuesday's live show like we did this week. But we're going to try our hardest, guys. You know that. We don't like being off schedule for long. So we're going to try our hardest to get this review out to you guys ASAP, or at least on Monday. We really want to keep these on time. As always, if you are watching this post live, first of all, thank you, Frost, Tevya, and Shamar for popping on live. Even if you're not watching this live, that's okay. Feel free post live to let us know thoughts, likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations. We'd love to hear from you guys about any of the books we talked about here or any of the books we did not talk about here. Lots of books come out each and every week. Don't forget to check out comicfrontline.com, lasttimeimpressed.com, where yours truly's book is. Zone 4 podcast. If you are a patron, Zone 4 as of tonight or today, the new episode is up. If you are not a patron, the new episode will be up next Friday. And also, Frontline Gaming Zone. We got lots of gaming stuff going on there, and there is rumbling again on What the Card. There is what's the word I'm looking for? There is it's twitching. It's not completely quiet anymore. There's little noises that are coming out of the What the Card channel. So if you like trading cards, if you like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, or what have you, definitely keep an eye out, because there's a little bit of a rumbling happening on What the Card again. There's starting to be a shakeup going on. I wonder what that could be. I'll have to wait and find out. And also don't forget to follow my Twitch. That's where I live stream all my gameplay. It's twitch.tv/Dark Avenger C86. I stream a lot on there. I haven't streamed as of late because I haven't played as of late. Whenever I stream, I Twitch. Whenever I play, I Twitch. I'm sorry, not whenever I stream, I Twitch. Whenever I play, I Twitch. Unless I'm playing with friends and they don't want me to stream our gameplay, which never really happens. So anyway, take care, everybody. Hopefully you're going to have a great weekend, because tonight is Friday night. Hopefully you have a great Saturday and Sunday, and hopefully we will see you in 2 days with the next episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review. If not, you know it's because we had way too many books. We're going to try our hardest on the lightest week to get this review back on track on Mondays. So take care. Keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys really soon in the next video.
Hey, everybody.